I know I've spent the last couple of weeks absent from most of the social platforms, and I've just indulged myself in quiet time, in special family time, special friend time, and just really chilling out and being still, being silent, and just appreciating the magic all around me, and making those magical memories with my wee family. So I'm feeling really grateful. I'm feeling really blessed that, and I guess the appreciation that you don't need to have a lot to be happy, to fill your cup, to really be aware and attentive in conversations and um, with one another. And so I think as I get older, the deeper I go, the more layers I've peeled off, and the more that I can really appreciate. And what's been really interesting is that the messages that have been coming through have been helping me to release attachment that I've had to things which I wasn't really aware of. And we know that when we're attached to things, it holds us down in that the more the 3D energies. And I feel this year a lot of my work and a lot of my guidance, it will be helping others releasing from the 3D energies and embodying more and more of the 5D energies. And I've been called to run a master class next week, which is 5 days, and it's really going to delve deep into releasing these 3D energies and being more confident, more comfortable to move into the 5D energies and really embody them and embed them within your DNA. So super excited about that masterclass next week. So if you, oh gosh, these cards have jumped out, they're getting impatient. So let me just pull them up. So if you feel you're being called to go deeper into the ascension process, then jump onto my website and under services, you'll be able to register for the master class. So without further ado, um, let's get into these cards. So two jumped out straight away. They were getting impatient for me to get going. So the first card that's come through is perspective. And how serene and beautiful is that? And the message is none of this matters. Zoom out and common ground. And what I'm feeling from this card is that a reminder that we're all part of the cosmos, and to get out of the detail and to kind of take a helicopter view of our life, of our journey, and where we are going. This reading is for from today, which is in Australia, it's the 2nd of January, and I'll read through messages until the 8th of January. So for the next week. So this week, the message around perspective is that the detail doesn't really matter. And it's kind of suggesting, get out of your own way and allow the information to come in that you're receiving, whether it's through symbols, through colors, through just a knowing or a seeing, or you're just being finding yourself in situations, and instead of um, fussing over them and analyzing them to why you're in this situation or having this experience, is just the message is just accept it, to go with the ease and flow and experience the magic that starts to unfold, because as you letting go of the attachments that keep you safe, keep you feeling comfortable, and the message is strongly coming through is, letting go of that heavy energy, the 3D energy, and just trusting and going into the ease and flow, letting go of the attachment, because that's when you're going to move into more fun, more happiness, more acceptance, but more awareness. And the more that you do that, the the issues that you're feeling a bit stuck over at the minute are just going to release and let go, and they're not going to be issues, because as you zoom out and get out of your own way, get out of the detail, and just look at the bigger picture, you're going to get a better perspective of what you need to do in the next week. And the second card that jumped out when I was um, shuffling the cards there is the Seven Star Sisters. And that feels almost esoteric. And it's about birth and creations, the tapestry of life. And when I feel into this, it's about, it feels this week. We know it's the start of a new year and it's new beginnings. We've had the new moon, and the energy around is really around creation. It's about content. It's about reviewing what you've done in the past and letting it go, that theme. And it's about moving forward with new thoughts, new ideas. And the more that you get out of your own way, the more that you just settle, go within and be still, then the ideas, the messages are going to come through thick and fast. It feels like they're all just waiting to come through. And initially, it might feel a bit scary because it's different. It's the message I'm hearing is stop doing what you've always done because it's worked. And you might have a successful business, a successful program, and it's not saying stop doing that, but this year is about really cranking up into the ascension, into the fifth dimensional energy, and coming from a different perspective. And so we as light workers are being called to hold that space for more people to come on board, to um, get their confidence and their raising their vibration to sit in this higher frequency so that they can support their tribe, their community, their family, friends, um, whoever it may be. So this card is saying that um, take take a little step, whether it's tweaking whatever you're doing or creating something new, but it's about having the courage to step into your spirituality, that element of self that's within us that a lot of us have shut off, or we're in the closet, or we are frightened to speak it out loud. And this card is just saying, have that courage, that confidence, and trust that you'll be supported. Know that you'll be supported, and that you can just feel the energy in that card. The magic will unfold very quickly and very intuitively and very harmoniously. I'm hearing, and I can, feel the and hear the orchestra of angels, just playing their tunes and helping support you in ascending and starting to really embody these higher vibrational frequencies that not only are they going to help to heal you on another layer, but they're going to give you so much more clarity, wisdom, and guidance to help support you, but to help support your community in the messages that you've got here to share. So feel free to comment if they're resonating, or if you have any questions. So let's see what the next card wants to come through. Ah, beautiful. So the next card is Weight of the World. And I'm getting the message sensing that coming out of 2022, many of us in this group are listening to this either live or replay, felt that we were carrying or supporting others instead of just being there to guide them and not taking on their stuff, trying to fix them. And as light workers, it's easy for us to want to fix people and help them cut corners and to just jump some steps. And a reminder here is that it's important that we're all on our own unique individual journey and we need to go through it. But as healers, as teachers, as guides, then we can support others around us so that they let go of their fears, so that they can experience and understand their lessons and move forward, but to create their own tapestry of life. We're constantly weaving it and tweaking it and shifting it and gaining the wisdom that's there for us to receive on our journey. So the reminder here is not to skip the steps, but to let go of other people's stuff. Because as empaths, it's very easy for us to hold other people's energy. And 2023 feels a lot like we have to set the boundaries and let go of holding on to other people's energies, letting other people's energies come in and interfere with us. So we want to acknowledge what we're feeling from their energies, but we want to just let it pass on through us so that we can guide them, so that we can support others, knowing what they're feeling, helping to understand how we can support them in whatever way it is. And it's about letting go. It's very much about releasing ego. This year is going to be very much about stepping out of ego and really going within, stepping into our power and working from that fifth dimensional aspect, which is without ego. And we'll know when we're in that space because it's very much harmonious, it's in flow, you feel free, you feel light, you feel expansive. And so the message this week is to set your boundaries. And if you haven't done a vision board, I'd encourage you to create your vision for the year. And I list what your boundaries are. And, it might be how many clients you're going to see a week or a month. It might be the duration of your programs. It might be how much time you give to people, because we know that there's lots of peoples who take, but don't often give. So for many of us, it's about resetting those boundaries, about what our rules are, and then it's having the confidence to share those rules. Because when we set our boundaries, if we don't communicate what they are, then that can cause people around us to be a bit confused. So the more that we communicate, we get clarity, we become more aware. But for others around us, they get that awareness coming through as well. So it sounds like a super fun week, very productive, very much getting ourselves set up and aligned for the year ahead. And so the next card, I've never ever pulled this one before, which is really interesting. And the card says, wait. And it says, it's not yet time. Things are being woven. And that kind of feeds into a previous card about when I talked about weaving our tapestry of life. And it's like, our life is like this big tapestry. And we constantly threading, we're repairing, we're patching up, we're expanding. And this week is very much about that. And the message coming through is don't become impatient. And just last year it felt like we were crawling. This year it's about walking, but it's about being deliberate. It's about taking one step at a time, but moving forward in with ease and flow. So we're kind of picking up the pace, and it's 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 not going to be created this week or perhaps even this year, but it's about ongoing progress. We are, as we're in this physical body, we're a work in progress because we've got so many lessons that we've come here to learn. And a previous card reminded us not to rush. You know, it's all about the journey, not the destination. And it's about just honoring what you're doing and know that it's in divine timing, and that we can't birth everything this week, and it's about progress. But this week feels about really defining what element of you are you ready to explore further, that you're ready to share with the world. What unique gifts, skills, message do you have that's going to set you up this week to move forward as a next step for the month of January? So that's really interesting. And often we get impatient about how quickly we want things to be. And often when we're rushing things, we miss out on the messages that are coming through for us. And that leads to frustration, to doubt, to fear, to guilt, to catastrophizing. And these are all emotions in the 3D. So we want to take our time but move forward fluidly, with trust, with ease, with confidence, with gratitude, with kindness. Because when we do like that, we're moving into our 5D emotions, which are much more in line with the energy of 2023, and they're going to guide us much more effectively on our journey this year. So we're going to, um, I'm hearing that this week is kind of setting us up to align, to balance, to really get ourselves clear on our trajectory for January, which is super exciting. So the next card that's come through is the blue flame. And I love this. And this card kind of comes through with just about, oh, I'd say 80% of the cards that I draw for readings. This card comes through. So it feels like it's really significant at the minute. And it's the message is all around spontaneous awakening and activation. and and it kind of plays into why I've been called to run this masterclass next week, because the 5-day masterclass is all about activations each day. It's about clearing, it's about rebalancing, it's about healing, because I'm hearing that 2023 is to be really move forward in your business, in your career, in your life. It's about acknowledging that we have to heal in order to accelerate our growth in our business, in our life, our career, in relationships, because our journey of healing is never done. There's always something. And the healing is around the emotions, around the programming, around the beliefs that we've brought into this lifetime. We might have gained some in this lifetime. We might have carried them through from past lives. But this year is very much about healing a lot of these old patterns and programming, so that we can move into the 5D emotions, the 5D energy. And so with it comes a release of that. So there's very much, as we go through our life, is about the healing. It's about being more and more aware of our energy centers in our body, and how we can support them to keep them clean, to keep them clear, to keep them vibrating at a frequency that is supporting our growth and our development. And it's also about staying aligned, because we know that the more aligned our energy centers in our body are, and the more we stay grounded, then the healthier, the happier, the more abundant, the more prosperous we are. So it's a timely reminder that it's time to integrate all that. And it's only us that can do the work. So we can be guided, we can be supported by coaches, mentors, healers, accountable buddies, whoever we choose, but we have to do the work ourselves. And that means looking at our diet, asking ourselves, what food groups are really supporting us, what makes us feel good, light, expansive, or what food groups are we eating that's making us feel sluggish and slow, and making choices around what you're going to choose moving forward. It's also about moving. Some people love yoga, some love Pilates, some like walking, some like running, some like swimming. Whatever floats your boat, whatever lights you up, it's really important to embed that practice at the start of this year, this week. Be clear about your boundaries, and are you going to take up an exercise activity, and do it once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, and have that as part of your boundaries, because we have to look after this physical vessel that we're in. We can't just go, oh, let's just ascend to our 5D energies, because it's so much more fun. But we've come here in the physical body to learn lots of lessons in the 3D world. But we need to honor our body as our temples so that we can ascend, so that we can live in this higher vibrational state. And so we need to address the food that we're eating, the way that we're moving our body, the time that we spend, whether we're meditating, where we're journaling, listening to our inner self, our intuition, listening to what guidance our soul is providing for us. And so with that, this week is very much about awareness and about accepting who you are at this moment in time, and know that if you do the work this week and start building that framework, then you are really going to take off exponentially. It's going to be a very fast-paced year where there's going to be um, lots of opportunities, not to skip steps, but to pass through them really quickly. So before I do pull the last card for this week, Sheila said, wow, feel an emotional shift in this moment. 5D emotions. Beautiful, Sheila. And it's so amazing. I'm just getting goosebumps feeling into that for you. And and that's a great example of how the more aware that we become, the more that we shift, and just by feeling the lightness, by feeling the excitement and the fun that's coming through, it's indicating that this is what 5D energy feels like, and why wouldn't we really want to spend much more time in this feeling? So thanks for sharing that, Sheila. So I feel one more card to close off this week, and timely. I remember. So when we feel into this card, it's all about our soul plan, and it's our fated life versus the destiny life. And the reminder here is that I think 2022 for many of us was about knowing that we've got a soul plan, but doubting it and not trusting it fully, and not really embodying it. Whereas this first month, this first week in January, is a reminder that we're remembering, we're activating our inner wisdom, our soul plan, our unique blueprint, the reason that we've come here, the contract that we've signed in this lifetime. And the message is loud and clear. It's time to rise. It's time to step up. It's time to own your unique message, your reason for being here. And the more that you step into this and own it, the less uncomfortable you'll feel with it, because you'll be feeling aligned. Your energies are going to stay aligned much more easier. You're going to be able to recognize them much more quickly when they go out of balance. And you're going to develop the tools and the skills and have the courage and confidence to bring yourself back into balance. And for a lot of us, it's about being able to do that ourselves. And yes, we need support on all levels, whether it's coaches, mentors, healers, if we've got our favorite go-to person that helps us, support us to keep our energies aligned. But the more that we do this journey, this work by um, accelerating our growth and development and staying in this 5D frequency and above, then we're going to be able to empower ourselves to use our tools to kind of fine tune ourselves. So this week it's about remembering that you have all the skills and the gifts within you to do those fine tunes yourself. And when you want to go on for big steps moving forward, then perhaps that's the time to take extra courses, more training, more healing, have a different mentor or coach, whatever it is. But the message here is, you know what your soul plan is, and the more that you have your discipline, your daily practice, your meditation, your journaling, your exercise, smelling the roses, eating foods that support your body's growth, and embodying your mind, body, and spirit, because this year is very much about integrating body, mind, spirit, so that we move forward using all aspects of ourselves instead of being detached from each part of us, which is very much 3D. So it's kind of like no excuses. It's like, let's embody all aspects of us, because it's all part of who we are, and start to um, change our language in the way that we're using our language, so that it becomes normal language that we use: body, mind, spirit. And it can mean different things to different people, so the definition can differ from person to person, but it's the knowing that there's all these components in our body, and when we start to address them and support them and heal them, acknowledge them, then that's when we really step into our own. So, hope that you've enjoyed this reading, whether you're either on live or replay. And Sheila's saying spirit tingles. Absolutely. This whole reading has had me in goosebumps from beginning to end. I feel 2023 is going to be such a fun, such a powerful year, where many of us in this group or listening in the YouTube channel are going to really be encouraged and motivated to start doing things a bit different, because we know that the new paradigm of business is letting go of ego, of control, of old patterns and old ways, and moving into this new paradigm of business, which is really fun, it's exciting, it's expansive, it's collaborating, it's about respect, it's about integrity. And even though we've talked about all these components for years and years, this year is about embodying them. And the more that we embody them, I didn't get that. Whoa. Could you try again? Cancel. Got something cutting in here. Sorry. I just love technology. Um, so I don't know what you mean by I got Siri, but I just love technology. Cancel Siri. So hopefully you can still hear me, and I'm still with you. So yes, affirm, I am a powerful being. I have got 2023. I am excited for my new beginnings in 2023. And so it is. Have a wonderful week. Have a great start to the new year, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.